Today we're going to go over the flaws with the 2015 Q3. Not too bad, but there's some really interesting stuff. First, we're going to go to the back door, which doesn't open. It's not recognizing the key. You have to go to the front door, so it unlocks, and then to the back. And that's particularly annoying, especially when you want to load the back seat with your kid or some items that you may have in your hands at the time. And even though you've got the key on you, you can't open this door without going to the front. This is the first time I've ever seen that on an Audi. This door even has the actual button here to lock, which it doesn't. And it will, though, from the front door. So the lack of that touchability on these doors in the back seat isn't very good in my opinion, because if your hands are full, let's just say you're putting your sleeping kid in the back, you won't be able to do it hands-free, at least. The other problem is in the back. This trunk net is rather small, and there's really no way to secure anything because these latches only allow one hook at a time. So if you wanted to double it up, you can't really fit that second hook in there. It's not very easy. These hooks are very weak. There's no way you're going to put more than 5 pounds on there without snapping them. Now, coming to the inside, the interior is great, and we do have power seats, right? But we don't have memory. I have no way to save these seat settings. This sun visor, which does come out to the side, but doesn't extend. Normally, right here, this rod comes through and you're able to slide the sun visor further out to block the sun in this area here. Not allowed in this car. There's no garage door home link system here. I don't have any way to open my garage door with a programmed remote, which I think is an unfortunate oversight. There's no way I'd have to like have a clicker, and well, this is 2015. I don't think that should be expected anymore, especially at this price point on a prestige model. Also, people will complain that there is a lack of USB ports. I have a pigtail here for the iPod, but the pigtail plugs into the center of the bottom of this compartment rather than back in here or somewhere in a rather more convenient spot. Also, this is the Prestige model, which has the folding mirrors, and they don't fold when you leave the car and lock it. Like some Audis, you can lock the car and the mirrors fold. Instead, you rotate this switch and the mirrors fold in, but only when the car is on. And when they are folded in, there really isn't that much improvement. Because you have to fold the mirrors before you exit the car, if you parallel park in a busy street and you fold your mirrors, how can you see the cyclists or cars coming down the road if your mirrors are folded in? This makes no sense. Coming back into the rear part of the car, you'll see that I don't have my door lock switches here at all, so it's hard to tell if this door is locked or unlocked. The lock switch is actually down here, so I'd have to press that to lock the car. And I'm not going to try it right now because it's just me in the car, but I don't know if this is really a good idea. Secondly, it does get very hot back here because of this panoramic roof. Unfortunately, this car has a black headliner, and if you slid this roof sunshade closed, it gets really hot when this car is parked. When you park the car and then you want to get out, you forget, oh, I left the sunroof shade open. So you want to hit the button here to shut it. And if you've opened your door, you don't have that control. And I would really like it if I could open and close the shade, at least just the shade, not the sunroof. while the car was off. So I have to now go back in the car and then hit the shade button. I can turn the car off and the shade will continue to shut eventually. Now I can get out. When the car is turned on, those big vents up there are great, but back here we have these tiny, tiny, tiny vents, which is all we have back here for for air. Look how small these vents are. It's not very good for adults back here, even though the headroom is good. It's a decent car, but I think these little small flaws are very obvious when you've had the car for a few days, and it's not so obvious when you're looking at it in the showroom. It is a great car, but I think they can improve on it in these areas.